Welcome to the Prophecy Club. I'm going to be playing the audio of the DVD by Maurice Sklar called Revelations for the Midnight Hour. Now, this Maurice Sklar is more than just a little awesome. He was a child prodigy with the violin. 1985, God began to speak to him in visions, and on this DVD, he shares 10 of those visions that have to do with America's fall and the end times. This guy was a former professor of music at Oral Roberts University, second chair violin with the Tulsa Philharmonic. He has a most interesting healing and music ministry and occasionally speaks prophetically. He says that God has told him that the dollar will lose another 30% more until it totally dies. All U.S. wealth, he says, will be lost overnight. Many in the church will be awakened and return to Christ. There will be massive riots across the U.S. Many nations will attack Israel. Nukes will be used. Israel will win World War III, get back all of her land. Masses will move to Israel. Revival will come to the United States after a lot of trouble. There will be cities of refuge. The internet will grow evil and oppressive, and much, much more. Now, this DVD is normally valued at $30, and you can get it through Prophecy Club for that. But right now, we're putting our October Prophecy Conference DVD set on an unbelievable gift offer. Here's the deal. You get 6 speakers, making 11 DVDs valued at $330, all for a gift of just $90. That's right. That's about $8 per DVD. If you want to get just one of these single DVDs up until the offer expires, you can get it for a gift of $15 plus shipping. Now, here's a list of 11 DVDs, which I will read through rather quickly. Shane Warren, The Storm, Judgment and Revival. Bill Federer, Change to Chains, Islamic Conquest, Past and Present, 32 Miracles in American History, Origins of the Great Awakening, Bree Keaton, Go Save the Pygmies, Translations to Heaven, Maurice Sklar, which we're about to hear, Revelations of the Midnight Hour, Daniel Davis, I Saw the Dollar Dead, Michael Boldea, 9 Dreams and Visions, The Suffering or the Glory. Order the October Prophecy Conference at prophecyclub.com or call 785-266-1112. Offer expires May 9th. Offer expires May 9th. prophecyclub.com or 785-266-1112, October Prophecy Conference. Now let's go listen to Maurice Sklar in Revelations for the Midnight Hour.
I didn't know I'd have this job. I thought I was going to go a different direction. I was apprehended on the road to Carnegie Hall, you know. I saw a great light, you know. Who are you, Lord? What do you want me to do? But, you know, I was reading one day where in the Gospels where Yeshua says to his disciples, really he was speaking to the nation of Israel. He said, you won't see me until you say, Baruch haba b'Shem Adonai, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Now the time will come when the nation of Israel will actually proclaim Yeshua as the Messiah, the son of David, worthy to sit on the throne of David and rule forever from Jerusalem and then New Jerusalem. Hallelujah. But you know, I believe that's prophetic. And so the last 21 years now, I've played that song all over the world. And I believe it fits tonight, and I wanted to play it for this reason, because what I want to share with you is very scary if we didn't have this hope. But the Apostle Paul said, when you hear the message of the end times, it should not put you in fear or put you in a place of confusion. He says, comfort one another and edify one another, those that are children of light. For you're not of darkness, or of those that are lost, or those that this day will come as a thief. But you're sons and daughters of the day, of the light. This day should not overtake you like a thief. Because we're going to look at tonight, we're going to look at some visions and that the Lord has given me. Actually, the very first one was here in Dallas in 1985. It was a revival meeting that I had attended in May of 1985 at a sort of a faith type of thing. But the vision that he gave me, I realize now, is foundational to the message that he has had me to proclaim. And that is, get ready. Yeshua's coming soon. And God had to do a lot of miracles for a lot of generations so I could stand here and say that to you. Do you realize? My fathers before me, you see. God had to preserve them. This is so important. But anyway, we're going to get into a lot tonight, and I'm going to plunge in, and this is Visions for the Midnight Hour. How many of you know we're in the midnight hour right now? But thank God. Greater is He that's in you than he that's in the world. Keep this in mind as we go into this. We're going to start looking at what's happening, what is happening, what has happened, what is about to happen in the world. There's two different destinies. And I tell you what, I wouldn't want to be lost in this hour. Would you? I thank God. I'm found. I once was lost, but now I'm found. So we're going to get into this now, and I want to talk to you about this first vision that God gave me. It had four parts to it, and this is the first part, and I call it the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And I was out in space, and I saw the beautiful blue planet. It was so awesome. It's so glorious. Our planet, for the glory of God, covers the earth as the waters cover the sea. It's so beautiful. And I was just in awe. And then I heard the Lord say, watch. And He was standing, somehow we were suspended looking at the earth. And He said, watch. And as I watched, I began to see these small hexagon neon lights begin to form. First over Europe, then it came and it came to the west coast of America, then it went through America, then quickly it covered the earth, and they looked like neon lights. And they were in hexagon shapes, about 100 miles wide or so, approximately. And when this thing was completed, it looked like a geodesic dome. Have you ever seen the globe at the Epcot Center? It looked like that, except it was clear, and you could see the earth under it. And I was kind of troubled when I saw it. And, you know, in 1985, I was a graduate student in music in Houston at that time. Then I was at Juilliard shortly after, but I had come down to work with my teacher, and the internet was in its infancy at that time. I had no way of understanding this, but the Lord said to me, there's coming an electronic web that will cover the earth. And this web will unite everyone globally, and for a while it'll seem like a wonderful thing, a boon. It will bring tremendous prosperity. It will bring unity. It will seem like such a good thing. And then He said, but watch. So I watched, and I began to see like a brackish kind of green, like a pond color, smoke, and it began to come up and fill each of these little hexagons. And it started in the same order. It started in Central Europe, and then it quickly spread, and then it immediately came to America, and same order, and then suddenly the whole earth it looked like the bottom of a pond. And I couldn't see the earth anymore. It was just this brackish color. And then I heard the Lord say again, watch. So as I watched, then I saw those in the same order, suddenly they just went black, until finally the whole planet was in darkness. But it wasn't just darkness, it was it says deep darkness. I mean, it was so black, the space looked bright. It was a spiritual darkness. I had this sick feeling in my stomach. And I heard the screams of millions of lost souls. I heard them screaming and crying out to God, and I knew that somehow it was too late. Something had happened. Something would happen. I didn't know what it was exactly, but I was very troubled. And then I heard the Lord say to me, the Lord said, "This is the fullness of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. This is what Adam chose in the Garden of Eden instead of union with me." And the vision ended right after that, but I just felt such an urgency. We must work while it is still day, for the darkness come. The time will come when it's no longer, Yeshua said, it's no longer possible to work. I believe right now we are seeing these opaque, we're beginning to see these hexagons go opaque. In other words, they're cut off from God. This surveillance, this web is truly a web, and it's now influencing every aspect of our lives. And it is still a good thing. Why? Because God's grace is still, we're here, and God's grace is with us. Now, in the book of Daniel, the last chapter, it says that a primary sign of the end times is that knowledge would increase exponentially. And the one thing that characterizes this generation, among many others, is that knowledge, the knowledge of man, the accumulated knowledge of man, is now instantly accessible, and it's doubling, it's increasing exponentially. That's that tree with all of its branches that has stretched itself out all the way from the Garden of Eden, when Adam chose knowledge instead of union in the tree of life. So that was the first part of this vision. And then the Lord showed me in a panoramic way, and He just spoke to me, really, but it kind of downloaded in my heart, and I saw this. And what's so ironic about this is, at the time, I was a real faith word person, I came into my Jewish heritage backwards. I was secular, and I didn't know anything about God. I got saved, and I was heavily influenced by some of the great faith teaching that came, and particularly the early 80s. And so that was my orientation. And so, in this particular meeting was very positive. Everything was positive. And so this really, I thought, what, did I eat the wrong pizza? What's going on? I was staying at a Days Inn motel, and this happened while I was, over a period of about 3 days. It was a prophetic experience, and it marked my life in such a way that it put a fire in me. Paul said to Agrippa in Acts chapter 26, "I was not disobedient to the heavenly vision." And he was referring to his testimony, how God apprehended him on the way to on the way to Damascus, right? So anyway, the next thing I saw was a vision of I almost have to go back and experience it again, because as soon as it's like I'm there. I felt like I was on a low-flying fighter jet, or I was actually on a missile or something, and I was just shooting. I was about several hundred feet from the ground, and God gave me a panoramic sweep of the United States of America. It was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen. It was, sea to shining sea. It was majestic. It was God's grace all over. I mean, such beauty. I started on the East Coast, and it's like the Lord just showed me. I went to the West Coast. I went up into Alaska, Hawaii, everything. And it was like in about a minute's time, I felt like I had seen the glory of God over the United States of America. It was so beautiful. But then I heard the Lord say again, watch, look, behold is the Old English, but look. And there I was, and then I was just kind of over, it was like I was looking over America and I could see it. And I wasn't moving as fast. And I saw what looked like fires just hit different cities, just boom, like a fire, like a flare. It just went, it began to, and first it was just in a few places, but rapidly it began to, I saw lines of, it was very much like that early 80s, and of course I at that time, it was like that missile arcade game, Missile Command, I think it was called. It was a Atari game many years ago, but it was this tremendous, I knew these were missiles, and they were hitting and exploding all over the United States, and even into Canada. It was North America. And then there were bigger and bigger explosions, and then I just saw giant mushroom clouds. And I knew then that was a nuclear, that was what I was seeing, was nuclear explosions. And then for some time all I saw was just smoke, And then I looked after the smoke cleared, and the entire USA was burnt and charred. It was in ruins from one end to the other. There was total devastation. I mean, twisted metal. It looked worse than Planet of the Apes. I mean, it looked awful. I mean, it was just, there was nothing there. It was just gone. And like I said, I thought I ate the wrong kind of pizza or something. Something's wrong with me. After all, I should believe Hagen 23:11, all this, prosperity and all this. And here I am having these visions of this, and then the Lord said this to me: this is the end of all nations that forsake me for the idols of Babylon. You see, Babylon in the Bible, and I studied this after because I didn't understand it fully. It took me quite a few years before I understood. But Babylon is symbolic, or really it is the spirit that is the man, shaking his fist at God. I did it my way, like that man sang. And then the Lord showed me, and then He told me, He said there are 6 Babylons in the Bible, and you have to discern when you're reading the Scriptures which Babylon, sometimes it's a combination, but which of these Babylons He's talking about, because He refers to all of them. There are 3. The first 3 are literal, historic Babylon. There's the Tower of Babel in the Bible, where they built a tower that reached to heaven. Some believe it was was an astrology type of thing to worship the heavens. Very likely it was. And that was the very first organized rebellion, governmental, against God. Let us build in the plain of Shinar with brick and mortar, And then the Scriptures also talk about another Babylon, which is the kingdom of Nebuchadnezzar. That was the actual kingdom that he ruled over, which is modern-day Iraq and Persia or Iran and a number of other neighboring, in the Middle East, basically. That same area that is so volatile now. The third Babylon is the geographic region where his kingdom was. And all of these Babylons, the Scriptures say, will be destroyed by fire. Everybody say, by fire. By fire. By fire. They will be destroyed by fire. So Babel was destroyed, Nebuchadnezzar's kingdom was destroyed, but we haven't seen yet the prophecies fulfilled, even that it says it will be uninhabitable, and that is soon to come, I believe. We're going to see some devastating wars come in the Middle East, and I mean, it's only God's grace has withheld it as the first war for as long as He has. Because it says, the farmer waits with long patience for the precious fruit of the earth. He's reaching out with the gospel. Don't ever forget, millions are being saved right now. God is sweeping through. There is a last call. And our prayers as the bride hold back the darkness. Because, one more day to reach the perishing, you see. So those are the three literal historic Babylons. And then there's three prophetic end-time Babylons. And those three are global. They are worldwide. The first talks about a global economic system that will ensnare man. We are now well into that system. It really, about 100 years ago, a lot of the underpinnings of the liberty of America economically were already being robbed, and some even from the foundation of America, the demonic system. The enemy has tried to put this in place, but again, if we learn how to pray, if my people called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, I will hear from heaven, I will heal the land. So some of this has been held back, but now time is running out, basically. So this Babylon, this economic Babylon, is rising up before us. We see it. We see it and again, it's all connected with that web, that electronic web, the tree of knowledge that has filled the earth, but it'll be like a trap. Yeshua said that this day will come as a trap or a thief in the night or something where everyone is saying peace and safety, then sudden destruction comes upon them. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should take you this way. We should know. We can see. It's now, Satan isn't hiding this anymore. It's very clear. And also in prophecy, I have to say, after 27 years of study and just walking with the Lord, I do not see America in end-time prophecy in a prominent way. I know that people try to apply different passages, and it would be nice if it was true, but I personally don't believe that. I believe that America somehow disappears from being a world leader. The power shifts to Europe, but I have to stick with this. So the fifth Babylon is called Mystery Babylon in Revelation chapter 17. It's a global religious system of deception and idolatry. It is, it's the Kool-Aid that the whole world drinks. Or more accurately, it's the wine that the nations are drunk on. There's a wine of Babylon. The wine of Babylon is the wine of idolatry. One of the prophets says the nations will be drunk and staggering around. In other words, not in their right mind. And God says, I will send them, Paul wrote, strong delusion that they would believe the lie. The lie. What is the lie? The lie was sown in the Garden of Eden. You shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. That's the lie. Everything comes seed, time, harvest. There's the righteous seed, and then there's the wheat, there's the tares. It's all through the scriptures. All right. So this is a religious system that, we are the world, we are one, and there's many paths to God, and you like vanilla, I like chocolate, and let's just all live together in harmony. That is the religion. That is the religion of the public sector of the Western world, and it also is headed up in certain systems that mix. It's also a mixture. That's another meaning of Babylon. It's mixing. Satan's always trying to mix the truth with lies. He's always trying to mix the seed. He's always trying to do that. And so this is that spiritual system called Mystery Babylon, and the picture of it is of a woman drunk on the martyrs, and it's the harlot, the whore. Because why? Because idolatry and whoredom are directly connected. In fact, whenever you see false doctrine, whenever you see wrong, error, particularly if it's mixed with the Bible, Christian so-called, or even in the Jewish realm, there's some error, the different things. What that mixture is a result of Satan trying to mingle the seed and deceive man. But it will become so bad in the last days. Yeshua said, beware that no one deceive you. Luke 21, many will come in my name, saying, I am Christ, or I am Messiah. I asked God, what does that mean? And he said to me, it means not... There have been about 40 Jews that stood up and said, I'm God, false Messiah. They're in history, other than Yeshua. That literally was fulfilled. But it means more than that. It means they stand up in the last days and they say, I'm anointed with the true message of the gospel. And so it's false. It's a false gospel. It's a counterfeit. Now, what is a counterfeit? A counterfeit, think of a counterfeit $100 bill for a moment. I mean, a good one. It's so hard to tell. They got to look in the light. They got to feel it. They got to smell it. They got to put a marker on it. And we're not sure. It's so close. Yeshua said it would get the delusion, the deception would get so strong that if God didn't shorten the days.
And I'm going to have to interrupt Maurice Sklar right there, but I do want to encourage you to get this DVD set. It's called the October Prophecy Conference, and you get 11 DVDs by 6 different speakers, valued at $330, all for a gift of just $90. It's called the October Prophecy Conference. You get it at prophecyclub.com or 785-266-1112. At the Prophecy Club, we don't put a lot of text on our website, unlike other websites where you can go and read and read and read. Our information is found in the DVDs. The radio is to get people to get the DVDs. The website is to get people to get the DVDs. So if you want the information of the Prophecy Club, you have to get the DVDs. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your prayers. And thank you for your gifts of support. God bless. Now from the Prophecy Club, some exciting opportunities for you. You must get these 2 DVDs. Outside of the birth of Christ, I think this is the most important information since the flood. Prophet Ephraim Rodriguez was shown in a vision that a large meteor will hit near Puerto Rico and cause a 1,000-foot tsunami there, but it'll be 200 to 400 feet high and go 100 miles inland on the east coast of America. It will also split America from the Great Lakes to the Gulf of Mexico, and large chunks of California will fall into the ocean, killing millions of Americans. In a second DVD, I put the whole picture together, quoting 6 other people that also saw a large meteor hit Puerto Rico, 4 for the tsunami hitting the east coast of the United States, 6 the split of America in 2 pieces, 3 large chunks of California falling into the ocean. 3 also saw the reason for this is because America forces Israel to split her land. Get both DVDs valued at $60 for a gift of $30. It's good for the ministry, but you have to have this information. Call 785-266-1112 or go to prophecyclub.com. Get the Meteor offer today. Get it today.